new day, gone, grab your suitcase, same walk, new face, gone, tie your shoelace. Ain't got a lot of money, but got a lot of time, so let's spend it where it's sunny. Let us see what we can find.
Would you like to earn some SSL hours at home this summer? You can by creating book trailers. Mrs. Stern will be holding an interest meeting on Monday, June the 8th. Check the FOM's My NCPS classroom for the Zoom meeting. And don't forget last week's SSL opportunity to do read-alouds for our SCB classes. Contact Miss Benish or Miss Nolan for the details.
In the forest primeval, a school for good and evil. Two towers like twin heads. One for the good, one for the wicked. Try to escape, you will always fail. The only way out is through a fairy tale.
All right, so here we are with our special guest this week for Vocabulary. We got Hector Garcia here. If couldn't join us because he's out climbing Mount Everest. That being said, Hector's going to help me out with our vocabulary. So I'm going to start off with our first joke. What do you call a man who cannot stand?
What do you call him, man? I don't know.
Neil.
Alright, so I'm on a random page right now looking at some jokes. Alright. What's the best thing about Switzerland?
The best thing about Switzerland? I don't know.
I don't know either, but the flag has a big plus.
I like it. I like it. You know, the other day a book fell on my head.
Oh, yeah. They told me about that.
Yeah. All I have is my shelf to blame, though.
Alright. Did you hear about the mathematician who's afraid of negative numbers?
Ooh, no.
Yeah, well, he'll stop at nothing to avoid them.
I like that. Well, since you have a mad joke, I got a mad joke. So, why should you never do math in the jungle?
Alright, why shouldn't you?
Because if you add 4 and 4, you might get 8.
Yeah, that was good. Alright, why do actors tell you to break a leg?
I don't know. I've always wondered that.
Because every play has a cast.
I like it. And well, thank you so much for helping me out with vocabulary this week. It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you again.
Have the rest of your week, my man.
Yeah, you too.
So let's get going. With, who wants to go first with this week's picks?
I'll go first again. I think. All right. Okay. My first pick is "Scar Tissue" by Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's a really nice mellow song, even though they're like a crazy band, so that's cool. The next one, it's like cover of it, but it's John Mayer with Keith Urban, "Don't Let Me Down" live. I love that. I'll watch that over and over again.
Good
and
song.
The next one.
It is a good song. I did listen to it because.
But it's John Mayer, so now it's bad. So bad. All right, okay. And the last one is "Message in a Bottle" by The Police.
Oh my! I was literally going to say that. Come on.
Well, that's an awesome song. Well, then here, how about this, Daniel? I'll throw a spin on it for you then. So John's version that he's talking about is by The Police. What you should check out is the live version by a punk band called Taking Back Sunday. They did a cover of it, and it was really good.
Okay, so actually it's fine because now I have another song, but I mean it's not really matching. But okay, I'll just go. Yeah. Okay. So my first pick is "Don't Let Me Down" by the Beatles. Did I do that last week?
That's literally the song I just picked.
Wait, is it really?
Song, but I think you did. Hey Jude.
Wait, are you serious? No.
You did Hey Jude.
Okay, okay, yeah. So "Don't Let Me Down" by the Beatles. I like that one. And instead of "Message in a Bottle," let's just do "Uptown Girl" by Billy Joel. And then "Rocky Mountain High" by John Denver. Those are my
awesome.
Yeah.
Very wide variety. I like that one. So I'm going to kind of change up the pace a little bit for myself for this week. I decided instead of me doing my picks, I was going to do 3 staff picks. So I'm going to start off with the first one. And this is definitely a band that I have not heard of, and so it helped me kind of branch out a little bit. But Miss Brown from the Special Ed Department went ahead and recommended this one. It's a band called Poco. They're from the late 60s, early 70s. But their one big song was called Crazy Love. Not the same one by Van Morrison. But that put it out there from Miss Brown. It was definitely a good choice. My next one here is for Miss Tynes. Miss Tynes went ahead and kind of just gave me 2 artists to pick from because she said, she just kind of was getting into this summer mode. So out of the 2 artists that she gave me, I chose Bob Marley. And I love Bob Marley. He is one of my all-time favorites. Tons of great hits and albums. To be honest, a lot of people know his all of his major hits, but one of my favorite ones that a lot of people don't really talk about is actually called Trenchtown Rock. Just good beat to it and everything. And then the last one is kind of more of a shout out. This one's from Mr. Grove. All right, Mr. Grove, our former tech teacher. But this is one of his favorite, and probably not his favorite band of all time, Foo Fighters. And the song that I'm choosing actually is one that's called Times Like These. It's one from a couple years ago, and I think kind of what we're all going through right now, the song kind of meshes with everything right now. So, but that's our picks that we have for this week. You guys have a good one, and I will talk to you guys later.
One good thing about music, when it hits you, whoa, I say one good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. Hit me with music, yeah. Hit me with music now. This is Trenchtown Rock. Don't watch that. Trenchtown Rock. Big fish or sprat now. Trenchtown Rock. You reap what you sow. Trenchtown Rock. And only Judge I know. Trenchtown Rock. I'll never turn my back. Trenchtown Rock. I'll give the slum a try. Trenchtown Rock. I'll never let the children cry. Trenchtown Rock. Oh, you got to tell Judge why. It's Kingston 12. It's Kingston 12. It's Kingston 12 now. It's Kingston 12. No, why you come down so? Oh no. No, why you come down so? Scabba dip, scabba dip. Scabba dip, dip. Whoa, whoa, I'm a groover. The world knows by now, y'all. Oh, now I said, you feel no pain now. One good thing about music, when it hits you, feel no pain. Hit me with music now. Oh, now, hit me with music now. Hit me with music harder, brutalize me. This is.
Hi guys, here we are with DIY Science, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to make a homemade lava lamp. And now for your supplies, you're going to need a glass, you're going to need vegetable oil, you're going to need food coloring, you'll need Alka-Seltzer, and water. And also we have special guest Jackson and the dude. And now you're going to go ahead and add vegetable oil about 3/4 of the way up the glass. And now you're going to go ahead and add water straight down to the bottom, just a little bit. That's good. Then you're going to add 8 drops of food coloring right down to the middle. Now you should have 3 layers in the glass. Now you're going to finish it off by dropping the Alka-Seltzer into the bottom of the glass. And watch what happens.
Oh, look. Look at the bubbles. They're like, whoa.
And there's your homemade lava lamp.
Hi Forest Oak, it's Mrs. Stern with the results of last week's student engagement survey on who would win in a fight. The first question was a classic battle of Chuck Norris versus Bruce Lee. And the results came in, 22% thought Chuck Norris would win, 77% thought Bruce Lee would win. Why? Well, Chuck Norris, because a dinosaur once looked at Chuck Norris the wrong way, and you know what happened to them. Another student said Bruce Lee because he has some serious kung fu moves. And another student said Bruce Lee because he can knock the person out with his feet. The next battle was an Animal Kingdom battle, gorilla versus grizzly bear. So let's see, that one was a little bit closer. The gorilla nudged out the grizzly bear at 54% to 45%. And some of the responses were, who would win in a fight? The gorilla, because the gorillas will team up with the monkeys and fight the bear together. That the grizzly bear would win. The outcome either way is still the same. Bear wins due to sheer size, strength, and claws and teeth, but it would not be a 2-hit fight. The fight would most likely last several minutes, and the bear would have to fight in true earnest to kill the gorilla. This person really thought out their answer. And one of the last responses was the gorilla would win because gorillas have thumbs. Well, that's very thoughtful as well. All right, so our last question was farm specific, Mr. Montez versus all of his Funkos alive. This one, the responses were even closer. Very close, 49% for Mr. Montez, but the alive Funkos won out by a hair with 51%. And what were some of the responses on that one? The alive Funkos. I think alive Funkos will win because they're so tiny. They could get in anywhere and just climb onto you and take you down. This person was for Mr. Montez. He could just stomp out the Funkos. But this was really a good, well thought out answer. This next one. Alive Funkos would have to win because Mr. Montez cannot hurt the Funkos because he'll probably feel that an alive Funko would sell for a lot and then maybe collect some more in mint condition. That person really knows Mr. Montez very well. Next week, we're going a little more serious. The survey is going to deal with all the unrest and protests that have been going on in the country. these past couple of days, and we want you to have a safe space so that you can tell us how you are feeling and thinking about those issues. So I look forward to seeing and reading your responses. We will share them on Gmfo next week.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Monday Mindful Moment. Today we're going to imagine having a special star for us. So I want you to find a comfortable space, get yourself in the mindful position, gently let your eyes close, take a deep breath in, and release. Deep breath in again, and release. And let's just keep breathing normally until we find our anchor breath. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to create your special star. I want you to imagine that it could be any color you want it to be, but it's up there in the sky and it's shining down on you. And I want you to think about that sometimes that star is going to be bright, sometimes it might be a little dim, but it's always going to be there. So now I want you to imagine that that special star is shining and it's giving warmth to your forehead, and feel your forehead start to relax, and you can feel the tension just ease away. And now imagine that that special star is in your chest, and your chest is filling up with warmth, and any stress and strain you've been feeling is starting to ease. Your chest is starting to feel lighter and more open. And now let's imagine that special star is shining its warmth on your belly, and as you're breathing in, you can feel your belly fill with warm, comforting breath. And as you're breathing out, you feel calm and you feel any stress melt away. Now imagine that special star is shining right on your shoulders, and you feel the warmth and you feel your muscles just go ah, as your tension melts away and you find yourself feeling warm and safe and relaxed. So now I want you to imagine your special star giving its warmth to all of your body, anywhere, okay? And I want you to breathe in one more time and breathe out, and gently let your eyes open and stretch your hands and your arms to the sky and embrace that special star. Have a great week, Forest Oak, and a wonderful Mindful Monday.